Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss.
When like I didn't really know how big podcasts were getting up until I think there's like that app that came out. I don't know what it's called. It's like where there's like so many podcasts and you could only be invited to it.
What's that one?
I don't know.
The one you pay for. It's like OnlyFans, but it's different.
Oh, like Patreon?
Yeah, Patreon.
No, I don't think so.
It was like community or no.
I don't know. We haven't been invited on yet.
Really? No,
We're not that big yet.
No. It's not like to be on there, but like to be a part of it and like listen to other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is, but my husband was on there and like he does podcasts like all the time.
Yeah.
Like he's in a podcast right now.
Nice.
He does it like he has his like because he does trading.
Yeah.
And there's like so many like things in like the U.S.
With stocks and stuff.
Sorry?
Stocks?
Yeah. Stocks, options. He teaches options.
Okay.
And then, so he is like a part of this like bigger podcast and like they also have like their own podcast. And so when like people, like when he started it, I was like, what is this? Like, why are you always like talking to the microphone? And like, who are you like talking to?
Yeah. It takes a while to get comfortable with. Like even for us, like sometimes like, depends on the guest. It's like hard to break the ice at times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because some people come on and they're just kind of like cameras and they get kind of like, you know.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about the cameras right now.
There's no cameras here.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at your guys' Instagram and I was like, oh my God, like, I guess I have to dress up and like whatnot. Because when my husband, like he dresses from like literally like shirt up. Like,
Yeah.
So like when he does podcasts, I'm like, you know, like I'm like, you're like wearing like shorts under you. Do they not see that?
Does he do it for himself?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he does it from home. But right now, like we're actually moving to Dallas next
nice.
month. Yeah.
Wow.
So we're really excited. So there's like so much going on right now. I'm like,
Busy.
it's so stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess like the stressful part was like the whole application and waiting for it.
Yeah.
But then all in all, like I felt like our whole life was like on hold for things, right?
Yeah.
And you can't really like decide on like big things, like, you know. So yeah. And then like as the kids are getting older, like there's school and whatnot.
So moving to a different country. That's
yeah,
crazy.
that's
Yo,
like
what made you guys decide that?
Yeah.
my husband.
Oh, really?
No, like, because his business is what we applied for the visa for.
I heard it takes a while to get, like, the process is, like, quite hectic.
I don't know. My husband got his E1 visa.
Okay.
So I don't know, like, how long the process is. But we basically went last year in September 2022.
Yeah.
And then we liked it like that. We already were in Florida like the year before and we stayed there for a month and we were like, okay, like, but I just felt like it wasn't for us, like Orlando. It was very like touristy and like, you know, like you couldn't really get a hang of like the whole like finding a community that you would like really like.
It's like
and
a big party vibe there too.
yeah, and then there's like always like something. There's always new people there. Like I didn't find that comfortable knowing that I have kids. You know, like there's so many like people going in and out.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Florida, like even though my husband loved it and his friend is there, and you know they have like a connection. They're like, okay, like, you know. I just wasn't comfortable, but he's like, I could go there in like a heartbeat, you know?
Yeah.
But then we didn't want to do California either because one, it's like very expensive. And if like we decide to like settle down there, like it's kind of hard with like kids in general. Like, but even though like I do vibe with California more than like the other side, like Florida, you know? So, like, and I've been to California, so, like, I feel like I would have known my way around.
Yeah.
Dallas is, like, similar, I want to say. There's, like, so many brown people there.
Yeah, there is a lot.
Yeah, I was like searching up, like where are the gurdwaras? Like
first thing everyone does.
Right? So like what if there's like only one gurdwara? That means there's not enough brown people.
Yeah.
But there's like
but Dallas is huge.
7, 8, 10 or something, right?
Yeah. Big community.
Yeah, and then like we were like, my husband's cousin already lives there, so she was telling us like all about like the real estate side of stuff.
I heard it's cheaper there.
It is cheaper, so much cheaper.
And like a lot more land and Just
I mean,
overall.
everything's cheaper than out here nowadays.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, man, it's
Trudeau.
expensive.
Yo, man, don't start.
Oh,
on that.
yeah.
You don't know where it's at. She might just get up and walk out.
We can't.
You know, honestly, I don't really care. Like, I like,
Yeah.
you know, but I don't really get into politics with like
Yeah.
people because one, I don't know majority of it. It changes like all the time,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, like it's really hard to keep up with the politics here. But I feel like Canada is just like so much more newer than the U.S. And then when you go to the U.S., I feel like everything's just like settled.
Yeah.
You know, like they know where everything is and like how everything is, and everyone has like their own communities, and
Yeah.
like you just go and live there,
Yeah,
and like you
yeah,
have your
yeah,
own
yeah.
community, right? And it's kind of like Surrey, so it's like
It's already, yeah.
it's already there. Like
Yeah,
brown
yeah.
people.
But I feel
are
like
there.
America just has a different vibe with like the upbringing there. It's like more like, you know, everybody's kind of
They're more like together. But then there's also more of us here, technically.
Yeah, that's
it's kind
true.
of harder
And it's
to
more
like
s-
be
yeah.
as like a
Yeah,
community type
I have
thing.
like cousins all over states, but I feel like they are different. They are different than us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like people are in like American people are so much more different and like Canadian people, because American people are like fighting for it. Like, you know, like either
Yeah.
you fight for like your livelihood, and then once you're settled, you're good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? Here, I feel like you make it, and then there's always like something or another.
Mhm.
You know, there's like
Yeah. Drama.
too many brown people.
Yeah, there's
Too much drama.
Competition.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to one up.
Exactly.
It's like, not let's like grow together type of vibe there. I feel like here it's more like, yo, I gotta grow and watch you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's
Do
how
you feel that with like your business? Okay, let's start
yeah,
off
let's
with that.
talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about
Tell us.
yourself and introduction about what you do and kind of how you kind of started.
Yeah, so I had to like practice this a lot because I'm like, no one asks. So my name is Baban. I am a fashion designer. I started in 2013, so I feel like I'm like one of the tenured designers in Surrey.
The OGs.
Yeah. So I've been around for a while. It's been honestly a lot of on my side. It's a lot of like kind of up and downs because I started it so early in my life, and I felt like I had so much like getting married, starting a family. It kind of hinders your kind of growth a little bit, and mainly because I chose it that way. You know, like I wasn't planning on getting married like around then either, so I was just like, whatever, like let's just get married, you know, and then like kids rolled around, and so I was like, okay. But yeah, I mean, I've been around for a while, and I have clients like all over Canada, US, UK, and even like Africa, which is weird. Like I've
Oh,
done,
really?
yeah, Africa, Australia, yeah,
Is there upbringing out there?
yeah, like Kenya and stuff.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool. I mean,
Kenyan?
yeah, Kenyans, right?
That's
That's
crazy.
wild.
Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, like I love it. I like and plus like I get to choose kind of like now, like if I want to take on like so many clients at a time or not, because I have kids,
Yeah.
and 2 boys are a lot.
yeah. Yeah.
And one being 5 and one being 2, like they're just like a whole party in itself. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, and I do custom clothing for a lot of clients, and I create my own collections that I design. Like I try doing it 2 times a year,
Mhm.
in the spring and summer, and then the
Like
fall and
The
winter.
clothing or like
Yeah, so like I design my own way, like
Yeah.
my own clothes. Yeah,
So it's mostly like Indian suits and stuff
yeah,
like that, right?
a lot of Indian suits.
So what's the process for that? Like
Well-
designing an Indian suit.
So I actually went to design school here in
Okay.
Kwantlen, and it
Okay.
was like a really like big, like it's one of the biggest programs in Canada,
Okay.
right? So I remember like when I first wanted to start this, like I was like, I want to do it the right way, you know, like I want to like know how to start like the design process, like how to start from like an idea or
Yeah.
like an inspiration. So I actually applied at Kwantlen, and at that time, like I was working a lot, and so I was working for the Surrey School Board as an education assistant, and then I was also working at Future Shop, and then I was also working for my mom, and she had her own janitorial service company. So she had a lot of contracts, which I used to go with her at night for. So I really had to cut one down, and so Future Shop it was back then.
Future Shop.
It's gone anyways.
Yeah,
now, right?
exactly. I think
That's
it like
awesome.
died a few like years
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
This was
You
like
took
back.
it out of business.
Yeah. They're like, oh, Baban's gone. So yeah, and then yeah, so then I started that, and I liked it for like the first little bit, but then I just couldn't vibe with it because everything was like so westernized. You know, they wanted us like making shirts and pants and stuff, and they wouldn't really let me kind of like, if I was to like say like I wanted to make pants a certain way, you know, they wouldn't like be open to it. You know,
creative freedom kind of thing.
Yeah, and because they wanted us to like go from like basics, and I was just like, no, I want to go straight to like what I want to design. So yeah, and then I did that for like a year. Yeah, and then I did some business courses and whatnot, and then I kind of started it off from there, and then and then 2013 I decided to just like, fuck it, go to India, let's start, and then
Is that the process? Go to India, that's where you get like your kapra and everything from?
Yeah, and so I had to link up with a workshop there that allowed me to do a freelance, you know, and to like create my own pieces and whatnot, because starting out, like, it was very difficult, like going there and not being able to speak the same language and like anything.
They're hustlers.
Yeah.
I heard they're like next
They're
level.
yeah, they're next level.
Wow,
Imagine like
okay,
me, like I'm like a very
Yeah.
I was like a very quiet person. Like I was just like, okay, like, you know, okay, I'll do it. You know, whatever, like, you know, whatever price you say. And then of course I had like family with me. They're like, no, like you're not doing that, right? You're not paying that much for like, you know, this fabric or whatever. So yeah, and then I remember just like trying to explain my designs to them, and they just would not get it. Like, you know, they'd be like doing their own thing. Like, what if we did this way? Like, no, I'm like, no, you do it this way. Like, it's not that hard. Like, you guys stitch. Like, this is like your thing. Like, you guys do embroidery. Like, this is your thing. Like, you know, like this is how we like we do it. And then they were just like be like, okay, whatever. Like, it was really hard, like being there and trying to explain stuff to them. And then even like when I left, I was so nervous. I was so skeptical. Like, I was just like, I don't know if they'll be able to do it. Like, you know, if I like, how would I do it all the way from like Surrey? You know, like how would I explain it to them over WhatsApp?
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
crazy.
Yeah.
and they would call it like fabrics like different names. You know, and like do like say it's this when it's like called something else there.
Yeah.
And yeah, like there was just such a huge communication barrier in the beginning, and trying to figure it out. And then I was by myself. I had no one else to like ask, like, what do I do, or what do I, you know, how to do it. And a lot of like, of course, like our parents are brown, like they'll be like, oh, you say it this way or you say it that way, but they would still hustle you like over the phone, and you're like, okay, like what do I do? Like, I need my product here. You know, like how do I get it here without them like always being a certain way? And they made it so difficult to like even work, you know, that aspect of like trying to start your own business and like whatnot. Like, you know, they knew like, you know, she's not gonna go anywhere else now. You know, like there's so yeah, I was stuck.
That's tough. Holy.
Yeah.
That sounds like
That's
a
crazy.
scene,
And like you're trying to like get all that down over like WhatsApp and stuff.
Yeah, WhatsApp, phone calls at night, and like here I was, like my day to day would be like I would work from like I would wake up at 6 a.m. to go to a school to like I was on call sometimes, or I would have like long-term assignments. So I would be at the school for a certain amount of time, and then so I would wake up at 6 a.m., get to the school, you know, I'll see if I have like any messages to do, like get back to them about like anything regarding any of the orders or, you know, my collection or whatnot. And then I would work till like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and then come home and then like probably eat, back to my phone, figure out everything. And if I had a client that day, if I had a client that day, then I would attend to them, and then later on, like I have to get to bed at like around 7 p.m. because I would wake up at like 5. No, sorry. I would wake up around like 10, 11 and go with my mom to a cleaning contract
Holy shit.
that she had. And then I would go help her for like 2, 3, 4 hours, come back, go to like see if I received any messages, respond to them, go back to sleep, and wake up at 6 a.m. again.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
You're hustling.
You're hustling.
Yeah, it was so hard. It was like the most hardest thing because my mom was a single mom for like the longest time, and she still is. So I was like the oldest, so I was always like her go-to, and I had 3 younger siblings. Sorry, so there's 4 of us, right? So I had 2 sisters and 1 younger brother, and it was like my BG will come like during the night, like stay like during the night and watch them or whatever, or my sister would, and then or sometimes she would have to come depending on like how my mom's workload was.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
tough. Being the oldest too.
Yeah.
Because then in the opera family, you get the pressure. of
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah, it was a lot. And and I feel like then you had the energy to do it. Like
Yeah.
you could do it. Like if you wanted to, you could do it. If you like I used to do that like every single day for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you feel like that that struggle kind of shaped who you are, or like what your business became?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I would say like it kept me really determined that I didn't want to do this, like live this, these odd hours, like working odd hours, helping my mom do this, do that. And it actually got a lot better for my mom, just before I got married in 2015.
Yeah.
And, she was able to, get a house. We were able to put a down payment for a house.
Nice.
She got like all the contracts for Sears and Extra Foods in the Lower Mainland,
Wow.
which was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I took over like 1 Sears,
Yeah.
and she was able to hire on like a lot of other people. So which is really helpful because then that meant I did not have to go every night with her.
Yeah.
And then with my own cleaning contract, I was able to change it so that I could go like wake up at like 4 a.m. and then go clean and then go straight to my work after my school job.
Holy.
Yeah, it was still hard, but I felt like that was much more easier than having to juggle a whole bunch of other things.
So like you're saying like the one side of it is you having to like deal with these guys from India, get the embroidery or whatever stitched up. Where does like the creative process come in for you? Like when were you like sitting there designing the
that
design?
was basically after school, or sometimes like during my lunch break, I'd be like, I'll pop up my notebook and like
Just try it.
do like if something pops in my head, I'll like write it down,
Yeah.
And then creating a whole collection takes at least 3 to 4 months.
Wow.
3 to 4 months, and that too, and then the design aspect of it takes at least 2 months. Just the designing
Holy shit.
part, right? And then so I've made it a lot more easier for myself now as compared to before. Before, like I had to do it like, like try to catch myself where I would, have like some sort of hiccup, and that's how I learned to streamline that whole design process because I took it like one step at a time. Whereas now like that 4 months could take me like 2.5 months. Yeah.
So you learned to kind of cut it down.
Yeah.
How did you kind of take it from like doing all these like odd jobs and helping out to like now that you probably just do this one main thing? How did you kind of switch it, and when did you make the decision that like I'm just gonna go full with my business?
So after I got married, I had to like pass the business over to my mom. I was like, I won't be able to do it, mainly because I was married in the Indian culture. It's like, well, what are you doing? Why are you still working for your mom? Not that my in-laws ever asked me or whatever. Like, I would still do like my mom's like paperwork or her accounting or whatnot, right? But I just wouldn't like, they'd be like, so weirded out, like, where are you going at like 4 a.m?
Just the idea of it, right?
Yeah, just the idea of it, they'd be like sort of weirded out. So, but they wouldn't ever say anything. Like, I have the best in-laws in the whole wide world. Like, they don't care. I could be like coming home at 3 a.m. every night. They'd just be like, what time are you coming, just to let us know.
Is that odd in-law, right? They're like, get toy. Mother-in-law sitting outside.
Yeah. So like my in-laws like don't care. It's I've heard stories. It's
There's
really
some crazy
sad,
stories.
though.
Yeah. Some girls have it bad. It's tough.
Yeah,
I feel for them because it's like, I mean, even that's a struggle in itself. Like
it is.
And like I feel like that hustler's mentality for girls gets like kind of washed under the rug for the in-laws, and they don't understand that aspect of it.
Yeah, I even though like we've come so far, I still feel like there's even like some guys even during this time that are a little bit just older than maybe that feel like, no, you're supposed to be like a traditional housewife. Like this is like how my mom was brought up. Like that's the things that you should be doing, kind of thing. But not that they would say it; they would expect it, right?
Just live with that mentality,
Yeah, and which is sad because like we've come so far.
Yeah,
You guys, like we've come all the way here, and we live in like Canada, and
yeah.
there's so much available to females than.
But I feel like there's so much animosity now between the male and female. Like it's just always like, even if you're on TikTok, you're scrolling through, it's always that boundary. I feel like there's so much, like there's that line drawn between us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's not always a bad thing. I think there still should be some sort of line, don't you think?
I mean, depends the way you look at it.
Like it depends situational, obviously, but like there's still like a role male plays and a role female plays, right?
I agree.
Like, yeah,
I agree.
Like you're raising a family. Like, what do you think on that?
Yeah. So, as like I can't say for other people, but for myself, I do want to be the female energy in the relationship.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be the one that's like cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids, because that's what I've known too, like all my life, because I've been taking care of my siblings all my life. And then, but I feel like as from like coming, when I've talked about this with my husband, and I'm like, you know, like, why do like females and males have like they always like butting heads like at this time of day and age, right? And it's because like there's so much available to females now as opposed to before.
Yeah.
And they feel like we can, of course we can do it, you know, like we should do it or whatever you want. But I feel like males have this tendency to want to protect their family, like, or their partner, or like whoever they're with.
Naturally.
Yeah. And they want to provide. And that's just what's been ingrained for centuries and centuries. So there's only so much you can change right now, you know?
I agree.
Yeah.
Well said. That was very well said.
Really?
I agree as well.
Yeah. So I get it, but I also feel like women should have the opportunities, the same opportunities as men, right? And sometimes the roles do get reversed, you know? And I've seen like men staying at home taking care of the kids.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Right? And women are working. And that could be because, you know, he probably doesn't have the job security as like the woman does, right? And I see that in the U.S. a lot because, like, I've seen, like, my husband talks to a lot of people that earn, like, a lot of money. And a lot of them are females. Yeah. And, you know, there's nurses earning over 200 to 300K a year. Yeah. And their husbands stay at home because they're, like, that's more than enough money, you know, to be coming in. And
I'll take care of the kids. Right?
I'll wash the dishes. He's scrubbing away.
He's like, no problem, right? Dinner's made.
Yeah, so I think it's cool. Like, you know, like each to their own, each guy and guy to their and girl to their own, like, you know. But if it comes to, like, I guess our culture, I feel like it's still, like, in, like, very much, like, still, like, what our parents think and feel about all this.
The OG kind of mentality.
OG mentality, yeah.
I was going to ask you about that. How are you pretty, like, out there social media-wise with, like, your husband, your kids, or are you kind of, like, sheltering that?
As of recently, I've started to become very private about my family. Like, I do share. I do have a private, like a personal account on IG. Yeah. I share, like, here and there, but I'm very private about like my life and like whatnot. So a lot of people like don't know, like, especially clients, like, oh, like, how's it going? Like, before I used to be like, oh, I'm going here, I'm going there, but now I just like keep it. I don't know. There's just like so much happening in the world.
Yeah.
And now that I'm a mom, I feel so protective about my kids now.
Yeah.
And just putting their even face on social media is a risk.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I've stopped really sharing so much, like where we are, what we're doing, or where he's
100%,
going,
yeah.
or, you know, and as much as like that, it was cool in the beginning, like and that's how like clients used to relate to me, and that's how they used to come to me because I was a mom and I shared my struggles and whatnot. And now I feel the mother bear in me is like coming out now because I see so much in the world and things that my husband tells me because he's always in the know about what's like happening in the world and how the stocks are being affected and whatnot. So when all this stuff happens, I feel like I don't want people to know anymore. And now, like, I believe in Nazar too, like,
Protect your energy type,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's funny because I just came across a TikTok and my sister just sent it to me and she's like, if your child sleeps throughout the night, right, what's the best way to keep them asleep, and have that energy going where they're sleeping all throughout the whole night? And she's like, just don't tell anybody. Like, don't tell anybody because the moment you tell someone, it's like,
it goes sideways.
It goes sideways.
Yeah.
Child's up crying all night.
Yeah. And so like now, like I like share it with like my sisters and stuff, and I'll be like, yeah, like he slept through the night. And it's a small thing, but there's even bigger things.
It adds up though.
It adds up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about raising kids kind of in this generation? Does it like scare you at all?
It does.
I love how you're honest though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. I'm so scared. Like, I see the dating scene, and it's shit. And I see like all the problems that people are having, and like how people are like asking. Like, I remember like somebody from India came, and they have they brought their son too, right? Because I think he's going into UBC or something. And she was asking me, she's like, oh, like, what's the dating scene here? Right? And I'm like looking at her, I'm like, what? And her kid.
It's not good.
Yeah. And I just like looked over and I'm like, it's not good. Like I don't know about like how it is or why it is, but I heard it's not good and it's not,
Why are you looking at me?
Anand's like, yeah, I get it. I know.
As Preeti's blowing up his phone.
You know what? Like, it's sad though because I feel like when me and my husband started dating and we were like 19, 20. So we this is like all the way back in 2009. That's when we started kind of noticing there was like a little bit of a shift. It's not the traditional, girlfriend, boyfriend anymore. There's just so much more.
I feel like there's so many options though.
Yeah, there
For
is.
boy and girl.
Yeah,
I feel like everybody's playing that Plan B card. What's
what's
better?
next? And then what's better, And of course, you should have those options and you should look like, like I should have a better option than what I'm settling with, Yeah. But I think even like I said, like back then in 2009, that's when we even started noticing like a lot of people are very open about things, and they want to experiment. They want to go out and before like actually studying, they want to meet a lot of people before, finally settling down with that one person.
There's no charm anymore.
Yeah.
And
sadly.
social media too, right? Like has like
I think it's
Instagram, like this and that.
People are kind of just numbed out right now. I think with like
overstimulated.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Really?
Yeah.
I think so. I think society's just kind of getting numbed out because of like what they see on TikTok. It's like what J. Cole said. There's always going to be that better car. There's always going to be that bigger house. There's always going to be something better.
Even like when my husband was like figuring out like if I'm the one, he asked his friend and he was like, oh, like, how do you know like that person's the one, right?
Yeah.
And she was like really straight with him and she's like, you'll never know. You'll never know. there's always, of course, going to be a better option. But the person you're with right now is how do they make you feel?
Yeah. I think the main thing is someone that sticks by your side.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to see financial toughness, like that struggle, because I think that's where it kind of weans out if y'all are about it or not.
Yeah.
Because I think the biggest issues come with money.
Oh, of course.
Right?
All the time. I see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finances, money has been ingrained in our mindsets, and that it's like the number one thing that you have to look at.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're brought up in a scarcity mindset.
Facts.
And
that's true.
if we were to think like in an abundance mindset, we would think, hey, this person has potential.
Yeah.
They meet my energy in terms of, growing and like the ambitious
Side,
the ambitious side, like, and meeting like if you're cohesive, like, it's really, there's a lot of factors, of course, but I feel like when it comes to money, a lot of people are very much just like, does he have money? Does he, like, does his parents have money? Yeah. Or does she have money? Does her parents have money? What does she bring to the table? Yeah.
Do they have a house?
Yeah.
What's their house like?
Yeah. And then even like when I listen to other podcasts and like Coaches Don't Play, right? Yeah. Like I listen to them and then
she's got some wild stories on there.
Yeah. And about how girls want to be a housewife. That's okay.
Yeah.
The power too.
Yeah. Being a housewife is a lot of work.
Yeah. Why is that so like unnormalized now? Like girls look down on it if
I don't know.
Someone's a housewife. Like being a housewife, like my mom used to grind, man.
Yeah, it's not a walk in the park.
Yeah.
No. And even like when I became a mom, like I was kind of feeling it. I'm like, wow, this is a lot of work, right? Yeah. Like I'm cooking, and of course I live with my in-laws, and my in-laws are like, we want to help or whatever. And I'll be like, no, like I want to do it independently. Like this is like, like I want to do it. Like I want to learn like how that hustle, right? Yeah. And of course they're there, but I just feel like if I don't do it now, later on I'm gonna suffer when it comes to like my kids being older and them seeing me, right?
You want to teach your values.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to show them that I worked on my own business. I cooked, I cleaned after them, and I provided for them. I took them here, there, and I want to show them that girls can do it, but and I don't know why it's being turned down, like frowned upon, that if you want to be a stay-at-home mom or if you want to be a housewife. I don't know.
That's where I think like the whole social media has numbed it out, because everybody starts wanting to be one way, and social media just shows that one way, and then everybody's on that one-way road. Yeah. And I feel like you guys, like the OGs that like you have that OG mentality, but you also have that hustler side to you. But then you also have that nurturing, caring mother side to you, where it's like, I want to see my kids in this way, right? And you want to put in that time and effort for that. Yeah. But I feel like nowadays everybody's kind of just like one way and that's it. Right?
Or think they can only do one or the other.
Yeah.
They don't think it's possible to kind of be like, okay, you can kind of do both.
Yeah. And I feel like as a female, like, I feel like we can take on a lot, but there's a lot of women that can't, and that's okay. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And everyone's why should we be like, no, you have to be this way? Yeah. Because no offense to you guys, but I feel like guys don't face that. No. Like, they're...
I think the only pressure Bunde have is to have a career and have money. Yeah. That's the biggest pressure Bunde get put on. Yeah. But in terms of anything else, like, it's not really...
a privilege.
Yeah. Because they're like, growing up, we're told, okay, you have to finish school. Okay, now that you have like your degree or whatever, diploma or whatever, now it's time to get a job. And then after a job, okay, now it's time to get married. Yeah. But why can't you focus on your career? Yeah. Why can't you just be like, no, I'm just gonna be with my boyfriend or be single for X amount of time, and then maybe I'll think about marriage then. Yeah. But I feel like for us, it's like go, go, go. Whereas for guys, it's like
long. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm the youngest. I have 2 older sisters.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I'll be honest, I was spoiled, right?
Yeah.
Being a younger baby, I was babied a
My
lot,
brother.
right? Yeah, basically. And like, I got babied in many ways, right?
Yeah.
And like, even my mom, she would baby me, and then my sisters would just kind of carry the weight of everything,
Yeah.
right? And as I got older, I realized like that's a crutch for me, right? Because now you're like put into situations where you might have a girlfriend, and like you might not, but like, yeah, and then like they kind of like see that, and they're like, well, like, didn't your mom or didn't so-and-so teach you how to do this? And then you're kind of like, fuck, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like for us, it's a crutch.
Yeah.
Whereas like the girls getting all that pressure put on them, down the road, they don't see it now, but down the road, that's like an advantage for them, because now they can hustle. Like, it's so easy for them.
Yeah.
Like you said for yourself, like you were doing a business, working, helping your mom out, basically helping your siblings grow up and be who they are. So you had like a wide area of like all these like whatever you did, right? And I feel like for us, we just get put on this thing where it's like, you guys got to go one way, and that's money, figure out your career, and then get married.
Yeah.
And the parents are going to hand down everything to you, and that's
Yeah,
it,
you're
right?
good. You get married or not.
Yeah, and then
whatever.
the girls got to deal with the struggle of moving into the in-laws, and like all the baggage they bring back from home, and all the struggle they've been through, the mindset and everything, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a crutch for Bande.
Yeah.
And it's not really like, it doesn't help us out.
No, it doesn't. And I feel like it makes it harder for you guys to understand the female perspective.
100%.
Then.
Yeah.
And you know, if my sister or my wife could do it, you can do it too. And the girl standing in front of you could be like, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you will. Maybe you will find someone that's like your sister or your, you know, your mom, and then they want to be a housewife, or they want to take care of you like that, right? But there's a lot of women out there that don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They want a partner.
Yeah.
They don't want another kid to take
that's
care
where
of.
it gets hard, right? Because nowadays girls will actually be like fuck that, right?
Yeah.
Like, you go wash the dishes. Banda's like, what the fuck? Wash the dishes? Yo, mom, who does this girl think she is? But
Yeah. Honestly, like when my younger brother, he is the youngest out of all of us, he was so babied up to a certain point, and then my mom was like, no, not anymore. And then she made him take out the garbage. He's now, like, when I watch him, he's cooking, he's cleaning, he's doing the dishes, you know, and he'll be like asking my mom, like, what do you guys need for groceries, you know? Like, it's so cool to see that. And I feel like that's, I guess, because, like, we were brought up, I don't know if it's different because we've been brought up by a single mom.
Yeah.
And just having her, like, seeing her struggle, and he saw her struggle as well. And I guess he just doesn't want her to feel like there's something missing in her life.
Wants to take that responsibility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How was that growing up in that environment? Has you been like raised?
Honestly, as an older sister, I feel very grateful that I had siblings. Even till this day, they're like my best friends. I don't have much friends outside them. Like, I have some friends, like one's in the States, and one is she's currently in LA doing school. But it's really hard for me to make friends because I feel like I was brought in an environment where I didn't have time for friends. Right? And every time, like, I would try making an effort to make a friend, it just required a lot of work.
It does, yeah.
Right? Like, meeting them and doing this, doing that. And I didn't have that time. I was always, like, helping my mom, you know? Like, I had to stay at home, watch the kids. You know, I used to call them the kids. No, I can't come out. I have the kids to watch. I have to watch the kids. And then even, like, when there was, like, work parties, and my mom would be like, okay, just, like, be home back by, like, 11 so that I can go to work, right? And then, so, like, I would literally be leaving my work at, like, 9:30, going to, like, Wings or something to meet up with, like, everyone, and then, like, leaving, like, half an hour after. Right?
Yeah.
So that was, like, the most effort I ever put in, like, after, like, for work. But, like, when I came to schools and stuff, like, I wasn't able to. There was just never enough time, like, growing up when I was in high school or even, like, in elementary school, same thing.
Yeah.
there was just too much, I guess, to do at home that I just didn't have enough time. And then I was brought up with like a lot of trauma in that way, because it's not because of like my siblings or whatnot. So I was actually had like other trauma that, of course, I'm going to therapy for now. And, you know, I'm trying to work on it and like being my whole self again. But it's really starting to affect like my life now. Yeah. Right? It's weird. And because like growing up, I was always like, go, 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 go.
Because you don't have time to think about it.
Now
like
it's time to
down
think about
a
it.
little bit. Yeah.
Now I'm watching my child, who's the same age, you know, and I'm thinking, shit, I went through this when I was that age.
You see a lot more too.
I see
when
a
you're the
lot.
oldest.
Yeah.
Right? You've probably seen a lot more than.
Yeah. And then so like now that I'm trying to like plan out my life, like I can't really move on from like things that I've seen and like has been done to me. So then I'm like, what do I do? Like,
do you ever have like, did that ever turn into like resentment towards your mom or like any of your siblings?
Never my siblings.
Yeah.
Some of it from my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I work on it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was never my mom's fault. Right?
But yeah, I could see how that like resentment comes out though, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of kids have that. I think even like
why wasn't I brought up like every other
kid, yeah.
Right?
Because
like,
you missed out on a lot too.
I missed out on a lot. Yeah. So
yeah, I feel like a lot of how you were as a child kind of shapes you into who you are as you grow older. And you perceive yourself as that child as you go out. Like even like say you're in group settings going out, before you go out you think of yourself like I'm that person still. Yeah. But you have to kind of like make it so it's
you don't really grow.
Yeah, you don't grow. You think you're growing, but it's still like you're still
stuck in that trauma that you had at that age. And when you're in that similar environment growing, like when you're, you know, now at this age, it's like you're thinking about that and you're just
anxiety,
like, oh, like I can't communicate with you any more than this. Yeah.
So what was your worst client that you've had?
Buddy shot straight to it.
Straight.
Drop some names. Good. Is that quite a bit though? Like,
sorry?
Dealing with clients and stuff. I feel like when it comes to suits and stuff, it's probably tough. Like makeup is one thing.
Aunties yelling at you and shit.
Sorry?
Aunties yelling.
I've never really had aunties. Yeah. Like, I mean, I do. But they're very much like, "Ah, kar de beta," blah, 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 blah. You know, like, "Ah, kar de, it's okay. You know, like, they're very, like, understanding and chill.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. I haven't really had a horrible customer. I've had clients that, like, tend not to pay.
Oh, I was just about to say that. That's probably the biggest.
And I trust people too much.
Yeah.
Right? And
the janitorial send the e-transfer, right?
Yeah. Like, and then I'm just like, because I have like a system, like, you know, you pay. Yeah. I have this much amount of money going every month to India, you know, to pay. Like I count on these payments and I plan it out to, you know, these many amount of orders a month, you know, and then I have to pay my workers at my production house in India, right? But yeah, I mean, horrible client, no. My clients are like my gods. They're my god, right? But yeah, I've had the occasional e-transfer not being put through.
So how does it work? Do you take the money like upfront right away, deposit, or is it like
I take a deposit on the day of the order. Yeah. 50%, and then the 50% before it gets couriered out. Okay. Yeah. And then sometimes I'll be like, you know, if it's a rush order, I'm just like, you know, I've couriered it and then I don't hear from them. And then I'd be like running after them. Yeah. But eventually I get the money, but it's still like, but in the earlier days when I first started, I had a lot of like flaky people.
Because they don't take you as serious.
They don't. They don't take you serious. They think of me as like a boutique auntie, like girl, you know? Yeah. But it's not, I don't have a boutique. You know, I'm a designer. I'm like consider me like one of those people, like those designers that like have really big houses, but I like production houses in India, but I just don't have it here. Yeah. I have it in India,
Yeah.
I have like 30 employees that work for me,
Yeah.
you know, but I don't have it here.
That just reminds me of the thing. It's like it's a
Fucking children's sweatshop.
Yeah, children's sweatshop. When she said 30 people, I just saw little kids, little fucking, just
my
sweating
God.
away, man.
That was like my number one thing. I would not have children in my
Yeah.
in my production house at all. I have had my employees bring their kids
Yeah.
because they don't have they don't have anyone to watch them, right? But that's about it.
Do you have like a camera set up where you're like watching them like while they're working?
No, I don't. I've had to hire a person to watch and get everything done on a timely manner because they're all doing their own job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one to watch them and put it all together.
New supervisor.
Yeah.
no supervisor.
Yeah. So I have like a assistant / manager
Yeah.
that does everything.
Supervise the children. That's good.
Supervise the children.
That's the
It's
first
like
thing that came to my mind. When she said India,
I've been thinking about it the whole time.
I was like, it's got to be worse than China. Nike
It's
factory.
disguised as a daycare.
Yeah. Holy
Bring your
shit.
kid to work.
Every day. Every day.
Every day.
What? Or go ahead.
I was gonna say, how is it? Because I know like there's more companies that are out there that create designer clothing and all that stuff. How is the competition?
There is competition.
Do you feel like there is competition? How do you deal with that?
There is competition.
Yeah.
I've had my fair share of unfollowing people that I did, support,
Yeah.
because they're literally doing the same thing I was doing.
So they're copying basically what you did.
Yeah.
So it took
Not design wise,
yeah.
but like just like things I used to say and like how I used to communicate and whatnot. And so, yeah, I mean, I was like, I support women.
Yeah.
I come as like, I'm a very nice person to everyone.
Yeah.
I'm never like, I do have like a resting bitch face, but I can't help it. I can't, do anything about that. But, I'm a very nice person. Like if anyone was to talk to me and be like, oh, how do I start up? Like I've had so many emails, where girls will come up to me and like in my emails or like my DMs, like, how do I start? Like I want to do my own, but I'm so intimidated by the industry and the competition. And I'm like, you know what? If you have an obsession for it, do it, and unless you don't, like, if you don't have the obsession to do it, then you won't be able to fight. You have to fight every single day.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable, yeah.
There's no, like, somebody tried to, like, this was for the podcast, someone was like, oh, there's no competition. But they're like, you gotta, I think it was Ravina.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how, like, there's other companies that started similar thing.
Yeah.
And, like, she's like, you gotta look at it as if they're competition, because technically they're all trying to be the best and you're trying to be the best.
Yeah. And that's okay, you know? And I support, and like I said, I support a lot of women that are designers. And I, even till this day, like I have a designer that's in India and she's pretty big, and a lot of people from here, US and UK, order from her. She does a lot more bridal, whereas I do non-bridal and bridal. Right, but she does mainly bridal, and like we talk on via DM. We were gonna meet up in India that one time, but it never worked out because she's like in Chandigarh and like I was in Delhi, right? So I mean, even like when like recently I went off and she messaged me and she's like, "What happened? Like, what, are you good?" Which is really nice because you don't see that
People reaching
here.
out. Yeah.
You don't see that here. You don't see people reaching out and be like, oh, like, how do you do this? How do you, like, approach this problem or do this? Whereas, like, they do. Other people do that just aren't from here because here is such a competition.
I agree.
And people are, like, scared of, like, kind of the not scared of the competition, but, like, I guess they think that if you do something that's going to be better than whatever they do, you can't work together, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like in our community, if people would just, like, a lot of people can help each other grow. And I feel like everybody's just so about themselves that they forget that there's so much room at the top.
Yeah,
Like, there's so much
is.
fucking money to be made. How much
Dude,
more are you gonna take into yourself?
The wedding industry is crazy right now.
Yeah.
People are dropping like hundreds and thousands of dollars
Yeah.
for their weddings, and there's still not enough people. Not enough people to book
Yeah.
because they're all booked up,
Mhm.
right? And even like a lot, not just my industry, I'm like makeup artists or like event design or, you know, I don't know, like halls or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's just so much, like if you want to do it, you should do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's going to be business. But if you don't have the obsession,
That's it. You can't start off with a money mindset.
yeah,
It's got to be about the art.
Passion.
about your
passion.
passion, about your
Yeah.
creativity, and like how much you want to pour into it because this is your calling.
Mhm.
You know, if you run after money, you're never gonna get the
Never gonna
money.
Get it. Yeah. I agree.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What kind of inspired you to even start like making clothes?
Yeah, who are your inspirations? Like, do you have
My mom,
your mom?
yeah,
So,
yeah, she used to. I remember like the first instance of like when she made me something. I think I was in grade 4. And we
Wow.
had like this multicultural thing, like where we would like bring our own like dish.
Oh yeah, to school.
Yeah,
I
to
remember
school.
that.
And I was like, oh, like I want to wear something. Like my mom was like, okay, like you're gonna dress like dress for it, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess. Like I don't know. I was
Yeah.
grade 4, like I was like what, 8, 9 years old or something.
yeah.
And then she went to like Fabricland, and then she got like this fabric, and it was plain. But then she like got like this lace and it had like a little deer on it, and then like it was like there was like sequins and whatnot. I still have that lace.
Wow.
My
Oh,
mom
wow.
still has that little lace that was
Yeah.
left over. Like we don't have the outfits anymore, but we still have that little lace left over.
Yeah.
And I remember when I wore it, my mom was making it. I was like, oh my god, you're making it for me?
Mhm.
She made it for me and my sister.
Yeah.
And then there were like little lenge
Nice.
and like with like a little dupatta. And from that day, I remember like just like getting so excited. Like you can create this stuff at home,
Yeah.
you know? And I got so excited. So she used to like make us like little outfits all the time.
Nice.
And then she actually started working for like a really big bridal store in Surrey. I don't know if you guys remember like Farah Bridal. No, that's I'm too old for you guys.
I know. The only one I know is Good Low Fashions.
So she used to work for Farah Bridal, and they had like 3 other stores.
Yeah.
It was called like Sahiba Boutique or something, and like Jobin Boutique. I don't know. So she actually became like she got to move up and like manage just one, right, of the stores.
Oh wow.
Right. So like they used to get like shipments from like India and like Pakistan.
Yeah.
And she used to get like I used to help her. I used to go after school and like help her like take everything out, like steam iron everything, you know. And I was like in grade same age, like around like I think it was like around 10,
Yeah.
like less maybe, like I don't know.
Wow.
And then I remember like helping her like steam stuff and like put it up and like sometimes put it on mannequins and like put matching jewelry with it.
Yeah.
I used to get so excited. Like I kid you not, even if I went there every single day, I would find like that one outfit to obsess over,
Yeah.
even though it would be like there for like weeks on end.
Damn.
And yeah, like that's how it started. Like it was just I was always surrounded by it. And even like when I used to go to India, like she went to India,
Yeah.
or I used to go to I went with her. We used to go like to these like little small fabric boutiques and pick up like fabrics and this that to put together. So yeah, like and I used to have like I would say I used to be like one of the best dressed people
All
while
time.
growing up, because
Yeah.
my mom used to buy me clothes from like those big boutiques that people used to go buy their bridal lingas for,
Yeah.
and she used to get it at a discount, right? So like I used to have like these like I had this like light green sharara with like I'm pretty sure all my female listeners would be like, yeah, like sharara, right?
I have no idea what she's
So anyways.
Shout out.
Shout out to Shirada.
Yeah, so like and like these suits and like so like all of my stuff was like pretty much what adults would wear.
So your mom sparked the journey.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she actually opened when I was in grade 11, 12. She opened her own boutique in
Wow.
Khalsa Business Center, and that's when I used to help her a lot more. and do a lot about the design stuff and be like, oh, what if we did this embroidery and like with this fabric and this color, and like do like, you know, and patiala suits were like really in back then. So like a lot of clients were like wanting salwar suits and like whatnot.
Yeah.
So it was really fun.
So you've always been like in that world.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. And I always thought, like, I always knew I wanted to go into like the design world.
Yeah.
And at first I thought maybe I would be an interior designer, but like I don't know why, but like it never worked out. Like every time I would like look and open at books, I was like, like I don't know what this is. Yeah. So yeah.
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom. I love you.
For sparking your journey.
Where do you kind of want to take your business? Do you kind of still want to just keep it how it is, or do you want to grow it more now, like as like your kids are growing up and stuff like that? Because obviously it's probably hard now to like balance everything, but where do you kind of want to, where do you see it going?
So as of late, like, yeah, I have kind of kept it like small. I have it, yeah, on purpose, because I just can't take on the workload. I have 2 kids. But now like the kids are going to school, you know, and they're a lot more chill and I have more time, and I'm starting to kind of create a balance. But when you're in this, like, there's no balance. You're constantly working. Clients in the daytime, working with your workshop at nighttime. So it's like go, go, go all the time. But now that they've like started school and everything's a little bit more like predictable, I start taking more on. But now with me moving to Dallas, I have to kind of had to stop taking orders for this year, because we knew we were going to move. And now that we're moving, I'm kind of glad, because I would not be able to handle it right now. But but I do want to take it further next year. And I have already started planning, and I've already started working on it. And I've actually been working on something for like 2 years now, and it's finally done. I just have to launch it. And one of the most coolest things that I actually received an email just this morning about a scouting manager that contacted me to premiere my work in New York Fashion Week for next year.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So I'm really like, I still don't know if I can take that on right now, because that's a lot of work. Yeah. Right. And
that's a really good opportunity, right?
Very. And I'm so thankful. Like, but right now I can't, you know, like it's just like one of those things that you just have to like say no to. And you have.
Oh, you're gonna say no?
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they're actually, it's weird. They have it for Paris Fashion Week and New York Fashion Week.
And which one did you got?
You could choose either or.
Paris would be big.
Really big.
Yeah.
Yeah, and.
Would you be like the first one to?
I guess so.
Showcase.
No, there's been other like big Indian designers, like actual Indian designers that are from India that have done that, but I don't think anyone from Canada.
I say you do it.
Right? My sister, I just told my sister.
You can't drop the bomb. Now your competition, somebody's going to listen to this.
Yeah.
And she's going to start messaging them and be like, yo, let me come.
She can't sign up. Let me take over.
Yeah. My sister's like, don't worry about it. She's like, I'll be there. Which is like, my sisters would like drop everything in a heartbeat and be like, let's go. You know, like, let's do this or whatever. Like, I've always asked help for. Like, they've always like dropped everything, came and helped me. So I'm very thankful. Like, most of my business that has come this far is because of my family and like my husband. So like
that's your sister too, right?
Yeah.
She's the moral support.
She is here for moral support.
Because you were nervous. You're pretty. How do you feel now?
I feel good. I feel like I could do this more, but
I think you're naturally good at it.
Really?
I'll be honest. Yeah, you're pretty like.
I'm not like, this is literally like one of the first adult conversations I've had in a while.
Adult conversations.
Otherwise, I'm talking to like kids. I was just telling her. I'm like, I was like telling her, I'm like, I haven't like really talked to like actual adults in a while. Like, you know, I talk to my clients, but that's like straightforward, you know. But like, and sometimes like I'll talk to like my friend from that's in the States, and even then, like, it still doesn't feel like you're talking about like your business. Like, who talks to you about your business? Like, no one really. You know, yeah. No, this is cool. Like you get to
Yeah.
talk about it, but yeah, like you don't really get to talk about your business in like a way where you explain everything now.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
you kind of have like a
your
behind the scenes
struggles.
of like, where you kind of came from. So how did you kind of grow like your business out here? Like, because you have like a big following and stuff like that. And you're saying like you were more like interactive with the people on your page before. Is that kind of how like it grew or?
Yeah, so a lot of posting, a lot of sharing, and like behind the scenes really helps a lot of clients because they get to see how it works, right? There's a lot of still like hesitancy when it comes to custom orders because you just don't know what you're gonna get, right? So when I talk to my clients, like I tell them like this and this and this is gonna happen, you know, and then you're gonna get this as your product, right? And they see my workmanship. They know what I produce, you know, so they slowly like recommend each other. So like whenever now like I get new clients, right? I still have my OG clients from like day one. Like from when I first started, they still order from me. And they'll be like, oh, like we actually went somewhere else, but
Cheated, like
time to come back.
It's like the haircuts.
Yeah.
Cheated on the barber.
So yeah,
How does that make you feel? Like if you have a client, an OG client, and then one day you see him go to another company or
her.
well, fuck, you never know nowadays, bro.
Oh, true.
Yeah. But yeah, so he goes to like another client and you see this, like what would be your initial feeling?
I don't really care.
No,
I don't like I said, there's more than enough to go around in this industry and this like this niche I'm in. So I don't really care. You know, I'll be like, wow, that's cool. Like you know, it's really hard to trust people with like making your own clothes or whatever, you know, especially that because we have that opportunity. But no, I don't really care. You know, I'll like just don't copy my designs. You know,
has that happened to you?
Yeah. A girl called, emailed me, and then she was like, sent me my own design, and she's like, someone else is offering to make it for this cost. Can you match it? And I'm like, well, you're telling me to make my own dress in something that my competitor or whoever you went to.
So market shopping.
Yeah.
Did you find out like the person and everything?
No, I was just like, you know what? That's a great deal. Go ahead. Go order from them. I don't really care.
That's crazy, man.
I would put on blast, right?
Yeah, but like I said, like I don't really care because I am happy where I am and I have more than enough business and I'm very thankful to God for that. So I'm not too worried about like how I worked really hard to be where I am.
Yeah.
Right.
See that.
So a lot of clients see that. And I guess like after this, like a lot of other clients will see that, that I, you know, because I don't talk about it, you know, you don't get to talk about your struggles with clients because why do they want to like, you know, a lot of people are going through a lot right now and they don't want to come on Instagram and like hear me talk about my struggles.
But I feel like it's where like young hustlers can relate.
Yeah.
Right? Because like I feel like there's so many people going through it, but they don't understand that there's someone else that is also going through the same thing.
Exactly.
And it's okay to be in that place, right?
Yeah.
And then like you're saying, like when you were going through your dark times, you never think you're coming out of those times.
No.
Right? You don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but there's always light.
Is there anyone you want to work with? Like
in terms of
like fashion designers or anything like
other fashion designers or like big people?
Big people,
Big
Yeah.
Not local, don't worry. She's like, fuck that.
So it's really interesting because I had a really big makeup artist come from Bollywood.
Yeah.
And he did my hair and makeup. And he actually is a makeup artist for Katrina Kapoor. And I asked him, like, you know, hook me up. And he's like, I'll talk. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that might go down?
I don't know.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, he's really busy though. He's like always on set. So I don't know if it would happen, but I do have like my husband has like his cousin, like he's married to a girl and she works in Bollywood now. And she came in a movie and all of her friends are like, you know, like going to these parties with like Karan Johar and like all that. And I'm like, she's like, whenever you need a hookup, let me know.
Is she from out here?
No.
Oh, okay.
She's from there.
Okay.
Yeah. So like my puppy.
Oh wow, that's close.
Yeah. So then I was like, yeah, like hook me up like one of these days. And she's like, I'll let you know, like if I come across like somebody.
Like
But
if you were to get someone big, like I should say that you got some like big connect in India, would you move to India to take you to that next level?
I lived in India for 6 months, and I would never move there.
No?
I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've tried, and every single time that I've gone, I always try to think like if I did live here, but I just can't. Like you don't have that freedom to like drive, which I feel like is like so like I'm the kind of person that wants to do everything herself. Like I can't depend on other people because I'll be like, you know, they'll be like, okay, like, yeah, we'll go get the car ready or whatever. Like we had like a driver or whatever. And he was just like, okay, like, and I'm just like waiting for him, like slowly taking out the car, opening the gate.
Driving like a maniac.
Yeah, driving like a maniac. Yeah, I can't with Indian transportation at all. Like I can't go through that at all. So no, I would never move to India.
Maybe when Khalistan comes.
She's like, oh shit.
Yeah, whenever that happens, I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't want to get into that.
There's
That's a lot of work.
That's like too much hate.
Yeah.
What was the other thing you were gonna ask?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just asked it.
Oh, okay. I thought I cut you off.
Yeah.
What else? So in terms of like long-term goals, that's basically it. Just kind of like after a year, you're saying you're gonna go on break, and then you're gonna once.
Oh no! Like right now, like this year, I'm kind of taking it easy.
Yeah.
But next year, it's gonna be pretty big.
Okay.
I'm anticipating a lot of what almost double to triple than what I did with my busy seasons.
Yeah.
So it's been in the works for like 2 years now, so it's getting there.
Yeah.
I've been slowly working on it whenever I get the time, and now that I do have time, I'm almost done now. So once that happens, then maybe I'll get to share with you guys.
Nice.
No, that'd be dope.
And then how's your husband in all of this? Pretty
My
supportive?
husband?
Like, is he
He's
hands-on?
been like my number one supporter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always been like, he's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Hands down. Like, you know, he's a mix of like India and here. So he really like gets it, and then he's really understanding. He's really like the best husband that I could have ever asked for. Like he made my life like 1,000% better. Like once we got married.
Nice.
Yeah, which was nice. And even now, like when he was like, you know, like I feel like you're going through stuff, like maybe you should start therapy. And I've been in therapy for like 2 years on and off.
Yeah.
But even now, like he was just like, you know, like we're moving and stuff. Like I feel like, you know, you should start like just to like talk to someone about like even like small things and just like figure things out. Cause like he's like, I could only like help you so much, you know, like I'm your husband at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like at the end you're gonna be like venting at me. Right?
Fox, yeah.
So it's more important that you know.
How has been that experience, like through therapy and stuff? Do you like?
What?
Has it helped?
Has it helped?
Oh yeah, it does. It helps a lot. And I feel like I think a lot of people that I see go through things like should go to therapy.
Agree.
There's a lot of things that you can like, even small things, just like how you interact with other people.
Yeah.
How you interact with your family, how you like how you face problems. You know, there's could be like a way, like things that you just don't like about yourself and how you face like different parts of your life, right? There are ways like a lot of people go to therapy because they don't have you know, that relationship with money.
Yeah.
There's a lot of business people that go and see therapists because they're like, I'm not good with money. Like I'm earning all this money.
Yeah.
But there's, how do I keep it? How do I do this? How do I do that? Why am I always like running after money? You know? So I think a lot of people should go to therapy because it's, especially in this day and age, there's so much that we're exposed to and so much that we go through and think that we think is small. But it's actually like, if it's small and you think about it every day, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's going to blow up one day.
100%. It grows and grows and grows.
It grows.
And then you'll end up taking that out on people around you, which
Exactly.
you don't want anyways.
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
like people just get used to chaos
Yeah.
and they think it's normal.
They get
Yeah.
addicted to it. Yeah.
And sadly, it's like our parents
Yeah.
that need the most therapy,
Yeah.
right?
They're
But-
all on antidepressants and this and that.
And
And
they don't
they-
realize until like, like us as kids say something to them. And even then, like, I feel like they'll be like, oh no, like,
Mm-hmm.
Maki jaake unnu dasna, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
It's just breaking that barrier for them. They're
Mhm.
uncomfortable. They don't trust anyone.
exactly.
And I think that's just the world they've
They've been
grew up
taught
in.
like, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ
yeah,
ਦੱਸਣਾ.
yeah. Hide
You know?
everything.
Hide everything.
Yeah.
Like, ਇੱਕ ਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਦੱਸਣ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ. Like, like, why should
Yeah.
you share, like, with other people what you're going through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been told to be quiet, like, all our lives.
Yeah, don't tell
Yeah.
the outside
Right?
world. Yeah.
Like, what happens in your house or, like, what
Stays in your
not.
house,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
That's where like our women just quietly suffered all their
Yeah.
lives. Yeah.
And that's, like, the sad part. It's like we see it from our moms,
yeah.
our grandmas,
Yeah.
you know? And even, like, when things happen, they'll be like, oh, like, I've heard, like, from, like, my, like, clients, they'll be like, I got into a fight with my husband and blah, blah, like, we get into fights all the time or whatever. And then they'll be like, but, like, my mom would be like, Chup kar ja, like, don't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't say anything back to him. Like, it's okay. It happens,
Because they're just used to that, right?
Yeah, because that's how they learned.
Yeah,
That's so
everyone's
weird. That's so
conditioned.
that's so unhealthy if you think about it. Like
Yeah.
just like quietly suffer.
Quietly suffering. It's actually like, in the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, it says like you should not take, I don't know how the exact words, but
you shouldn't take that sort of
yeah, you shouldn't take like what people say to you or do to you. That's like almost a sin.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact words, but it's a saying.
Yeah.
Like and that's where I think I learned like the hard way is like don't take shit from people.
Are you into Sikhi quite a bit? Like do you?
Not really.
Yeah.
I actually just believe what I believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I take a little bit from everyone kind of thing, and I just want to be a good human being
Yeah.
at the end of the day,
100%.
right? And I feel like the more religious you become, like the more closed off sometimes you get
Yeah.
from a lot of other religions.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's so much to explore in the world that to expand your mind and like, do things. Like I've started meditation,
Yeah.
which really helps. And I want to like, hopefully like start meditating like in those like really big like cult things, like like the cults, but like
the monks and
yeah,
stuff
like that kind of stuff. And I feel like that, and like I of course, like I say, I go to the Gurdwara, I go to the temple, like
Yeah.
the Hindu temple, and even like growing up, my mom used to like expose me to like all kinds of religions. She'd be like, oh, like these are like Jehovah Witnesses, they're here at the door, like
Oh, shit.
go listen to what they have to say, But she'd be like, yeah, like learn everything. This world is really big.
Yeah. I think it's good.
You can learn a lot from like all religions because a lot of religions have a lot of crossover too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that are said in one thing or they're just said in different ways.
Yeah, like Judaism, there's Christianity and Islam. They're all like similar
Mm-hmm.
in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you more excited to move, or are you a little bit more scared?
I think I was nervous this whole little bit, mainly because I had to drop the bomb on my siblings. That was like the hardest.
When did that happen?
That happened like what, in August?
How'd you feel?
She's like the pillar, like she said it a few times. She's the oldest, so she took care of us.
Yeah.
So, and like her kids are our firstborn nephews.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't have to talk, right? I could just like sit there on the side.
Her kids are our firstborn nephews, so there's just a whole bunch of attachment. She's our mom's first kid, her kid's the first kid, so they're all leaving, so I feel like it's just affected all of us a little bit. It's still hard to believe, but it is the best for them, and like we want the best for them, so it's something we'll just have to put up with, but it does suck.
Does that do you feel like that role gets passed on? Are you the second oldest?
No.
That'd be
So
Kimmy.
Kimmy would be the second oldest. I'm the third.
Yeah.
But
Shout out, Kimmy.
the fact that
Yeah,
they're
She's gonna be taking over.
she said to put a connect in. But no, I think with both of them being married, like I am now the oldest daughter at home, so that has like a whole nother set of responsibilities because my mom is still a single mom and I have to look after my younger brother. So that's just like a whole different thing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like he's looking after you now.
Honestly, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
And
Yeah.
like, do you feel like you're gonna miss out on that? Like, cause she said you guys were a big part of her business and like kind of always involved. Like, do you feel like you're gonna miss out on a lot of it?
Honestly, she's grown and become so strong over the years, so I feel like she's capable of handling it herself.
Yeah.
But she knows if she ever needs us, like we're there.
Yeah.
Like that's just how the four of us, like in terms of our siblings, are. Like we're there for each other to build each other, so we could all be up there one day together.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Like she knows she needs us, and we'll be there. Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
I'm really proud
Yeah.
of like our relationship.
Mhm.
But that speaks volumes for you because being the eldest, you've kind of instilled those values and passed them down. So that's really like cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is like learned from like my BG.
Yeah.
When they moved from Pakistan during the partition into India, like what they had was what they had.
Yeah.
And they came from a really big family. Like they all lived in like a really big house in Pakistan, and they had like their chache, tai all together, living together in like this huge ass house, right?
Yeah.
And she told us like we left everything. Like we became like nothing when we crossed over, and all we had was each other.
Yeah.
Even till this day, I have cousins that are like my BGs, like Tayaji's sons, kids, right? And like we're so close to them. They're like in Toronto, and they like whenever they come, they stay over with like my mama, right? And we've always learned that, like,
Yeah.
you know, people be like, oh, why are you guys are like so like far distant cousins? Like, how are you guys so close, right? But no, like we're so close.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us, like when we get together, it's like a whole party in its own. Like we don't need anyone like to have like a whole party.
It's a
Like
good time.
just
Yeah.
like our family getting together
Yeah.
is like huge,
Yeah.
right? So I think like a lot of that is like what I learned from my BG is like, you know, family is everything, and whatever family there is everything too.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just your family, it's everyone else too.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I get to teach that to like my siblings and like my kids, right? And I want that to like keep going, because that's like such an integral, like I know the benefits of having, you know, all these relationships in my life.
Yeah.
And I want that for like my kids. I want that for my sister's kids, you know. And even like when, like sometimes like we laugh about it. We're gonna be like in like care homes or something, or like calling each other up. Like my BG, like she sits on the phone and she calls up like literally all her sisters and brothers.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "So what's happening?" Like every single day. Like there's like a different.
Yeah.
One's in England, one's in like India, and like, you know, they're like all calling each other
Yeah.
all the time. And I'm like, I want that for us too.
I think we need to see more of that. Like
Yeah.
in today's day, everybody's so busy just fighting with each other. All these like families like are broken and stuff. I feel like it's rare to hear these stories where like, you know, everyone's so close in knit.
Yeah, and then sometimes I don't relate. I'm like, what? Like, how do people go through
Yeah,
this?
like when people are like, "Oh, I don't talk to my brother," or like something like that, or like I don't talk to my siblings.
I
Like, it's
honestly-
like a trip. I'm like, well,
yeah.
it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. I honestly like I wish like my grandma could like do like a TED talk or something, because like she'd be like, yeah, so this is how you feel, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm really grateful. Like one of the things that I really thank, you know, my mom for is like my siblings, and yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Growing up, did you like look up to her quite a bit? Like just being the younger one, seeing how she's handling everything. Like, what was your biggest take from being young?
Honestly, her discipline. Like, we all saw like the odd hours she was working. Like, she was getting like 4 hours of sleep and just getting back to work, going straight to school from there, coming back, feeding us, right? Like, her discipline, and it did pass down to us to like keep that relationship and be grateful for that and maintain that even for her. Like, she's done so much for us growing up, and now it's our turn to return the favor, right? Now we're able to also take care of her. So it's kind of just, it's a balance, right? You give and you take.
Did you ever feel the pressure of being like the bar being set so high?
Of course, but I think that's only natural, right? They've been, like, she's just been super supportive. So the pressure is, like, natural. I feel like it mostly comes from the parents. But we, like, she believes in us so much, and, like, we believe in her so much. And the four of us as siblings, we've just always been like that. So we've never really given each other, like, that idea of that you're not even capable of doing it. So, like, the pressure's there, but we know we're able to achieve whatever we want because that's all we've instilled in each other.
Nice.
There's never been like, you can't do this. No, you can.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I always like tell them, like, be a better version of yourselves, like, always, you know, as a human being, or like in whatever you're doing, you know, and if you need our help, we're here, you know. We've always been like that. And it's weird because, like, I see so many families that are not like that, right? And I see it from, like, my grandpa's side, like my papaji's side. Like, we don't know anyone in their family really, you know, and we'll see them, we'll see hi and whatever, but like the relationship that we have as like cousins and like sisters and brothers, it's so huge, you know. And I've even, like, I have a cousin, and like he like got into like really bad company and whatnot, and he used to come and stay with us like growing up, and like I treated him like my brother, like how I would my brother, like, you know, like, you need to straighten up, like, I believe in you, like whatnot. And like he still to this day says, like, if you didn't believe in me, like, so I don't know where I would be, you know. Like, no one, like, his parents gave up on him, and like my mom was like how do I take him in, like, you know, like I'm getting like, you know, told by my my cousins, like, why are you taking, like, he's gonna ruin your house, blah blah blah. And like I've never, like, but like whenever like I think of that, I'm like, who else is there if not family, you know?
Just gonna go to the streets.
Yeah.
And then if everyone gives up on them, that's where they're gonna end up, right?
Yeah. And you know, even till this day, like, we still have a relationship. He'll like stop by, see the kids and like whatnot, and he's done like better for himself. He's good now, and you know, and it's nice to see that. And would I say, like, would I be like, oh, it's because of me? No. We all stood together and helped him, you know? And of course I was the oldest. I had to manage all that, like, you know? But no, like, it's I really, like I said, like, family for me has been everything. Like, I didn't get time to make friends, you know? I didn't get to go out and party, like, during, like, go clubbing and whatnot. Like, and even till this day, like, I don't get it. I don't get the concept.
What, clubbing?
Yeah.
Tap house?
Like, I've been there. Like, it's not that. But I just, like, okay, I'll be like, okay, like, we ate. Let's go home, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's just because we enjoy so much within our family. Like, our families, it is huge. You know what I mean? And we're all pretty much the same age group. So, and
You
we're
guys
also
are.
alike, right? You're okay.
They'll be like talking to me in like their little like Gen
Lingo.
Z slang, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what? Like, what is this? Like,
You gotta humble them.
yeah. I'm like, no, just talk to me in plain English, okay? And I'm like, YOLO, and they're like, we don't say that anymore. Yeah, but
I think that's pretty dope because you talked about your cousin and how everybody kind of turned his back. I think we need more of those mentor type, especially if like you have family. I feel like that's the biggest type of like, I feel like those kids turn to the streets, or they turn to people that they shouldn't be turning to, because they have no one else to turn to. And everybody kind of, like you said, the family will be like, oh, why are you helping this kid out? There's like that
There's
negative
that like narrative, right? Of like, oh, like, you're helping this guy out, like this is gonna like affect you, like this and that. But
and
like,
it's like your own family creating those narratives and like
drama.
you know?
bullshit,
and like it's like they're not a person themselves, you know, like who, like, their own identity gets screwed over because everyone else is making the narrative for them. Right? And which is sad, you know. I see that a lot though.
I feel like so many kids could be saved if like their own family just
I feel like disowning people in general is such a huge part of our culture. Like every family, there's like a couple of people that they've just completely disowned and like don't give a fuck about it anymore.
And even like when it
sucks.
comes to like I know like there's like things that happen in my family, and then you know they'll be like, oh, like Inu, like should we call them or like blah blah blah. I'm like, you know what, they're the same relationship, like the same relationship I have with you is the same relationship I have with them. So if I'm inviting you, I'm gonna invite them. There's no difference, you know. And I teach that to them because I'm like, for you guys, like it's like, you know, like somebody else, like, you know, like you're not good with them, but for me, I'm the oldest. You know, I'm gonna set the precedent right there. Like this is they're coming because you and me are like the same, like we have the same relationship. You know, I never say like there should be a difference. There never should be a difference.
No cutting anyone out. That happens a lot though.
A lot.
Like I don't want to be here because this person's here. Like and that. It's just like all politics.
Exactly.
For no reason.
Exactly. And it shouldn't be like that. Like if like I see it in weddings. You know? They'll be like, oh, asi unu bulaya asi
I'm not coming.
We're not coming, right?
Like don't come then.
Like and imagine,
but I'll
like,
be honest, weddings, I feel like times are such a facade.
Yeah, it is.
Like people are inviting so and so that they haven't seen in so many years, and so is showing up, and it's not really like, is it really a wedding or is it like a show we're putting on for the world?
Yeah, it does. It honestly, that's, and I've met a lot of brides that would be like, I want a small wedding, and when COVID happened,
it's changed.
They were so happy.
It's gonna turn around for sure. I feel like right before COVID, like obviously there's still like those few people who want like extravagant weddings, but I feel like the intimacy, inviting the people that matter most, like I feel like it's gonna cycle back.
It's a different
vibe. It already
vibe.
is, man. The reception we were at was like, how many people were there?
It was dope.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I don't know,
like for my wedding, I had 75 people at my reception.
What? Oh, that's sick.
I had so much fun. I literally saw like everybody, and I was like, this is so cool. We're done. I didn't even have to go around to tables, really. I just said hi to like everybody and like thank you for coming, and that took like 10 minutes.
Because usually it takes like 1 hour. You see the couple after everything, just going to every table.
Taking pictures with everyone.
Exactly.
The girl's like, who's this? The guy's like, I don't know. Just say what up.
Just say hi, right?
The one BB's rubbing the makeup off his face. The girl's like, yo, get this lady off me.
So my wedding was so small. It was fun. It was really fun. Even like some of my cousins would still come up to me. They're like, we had the most fun at your wedding. Not even our own wedding.
I agree, the small intimate ones are better. Because you have more fun, your cousins, your people that you're like comfortable with, and it's just a good time.
And everyone's dancing with everyone. Like they're like, you know, like even though there's like relatives that you don't know, but like you're still like dancing like with everyone, you know. And we literally had like 2 circles. That's about it. Like on the dance floor. It was so much fun.
Less drama.
And less drama. My wedding was pretty drama free. Nice. I would say.
That's nice.
It went free. It went like it was done. Quick.
Was it during COVID or was it like?
No. I got married in 2015.
Oh shit. So what made you decide to have the small wedding?
Because my husband's side was really small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they only had like 10 people here.
So you guys were ahead of the game, trendsetters.
Yeah. And when people like hear about it, they'd be like, "Oh my god, like really?" And now when I talk about it, they'd be like, "You're so lucky." Especially during that time to have a wedding like that.
I feel like there's still some people that like don't like the idea of it, but a lot of people are just shifting towards that now.
Yeah, and even like parents, they'll be like, I think they're probably like up for it too, because they'll be like, okay, less cost
Cut
for
the
us.
Cost, right?
You know,
some weddings are like $500,000, man. It's crazy.
Oh, $500,000 now? Jeez,
that's crazy.
Fuck, go to Vegas, get married.
The ring's worth $50,000, man.
We have like family in California as well, and like they come down for like whatever weddings we have here, and they just say it's not comparable. Like the wedding game here in Vancouver is completely different. Like completely different. People just go.
Is it better there?
What did they say?
No. Like here, people go all out here. Like there, it's more intimate. Like here, we're like
I feel like
pulling pranks, egging people's houses, toilet paper,
you guys
everything.
Do that?
We did that for Kimmy, guys. We ruined Josh's house.
Well, they were at
Kimmy's wedding was pretty big though.
Yeah, Kimmy's was pretty big because Josh's slide is so huge. Right? So we kind of had to like match it or like. I'm sorry, no blah.
We're calling fucking Joe here. Joe Blow.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I feel like a lot of people like get married for the sake of getting married too these days too, right? Like just kind of like for the whole
I think what a lot
image.
of people realize is marriage is a lot of work. It's not just the wedding.
Yeah.
And that's sad because like
yeah,
it's a lot of work. Marriage is a lot
relationships
of work.
are a lot of work.
Yes.
People don't. It's like a full-time job.
It is.
It's not easy.
People forget that there's like a life beyond the marriage. Like you're finally married, you're like, what? Okay, now what? Like you know. But
next to them.
Yeah.
First, girls getting yelled at from the mother-in-law.
Yeah. I know there's no, weddings are pretty fun for a lot of people, but I feel like for the main family it's really stressful. But the bride and the groom, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like
Before and after.
yeah.
But I think nowadays it's the idea of getting married is just the thing, and then like people get married and like they don't realize like, okay, well the marriage is one thing. Now you got all this other stuff. Now the reality kicks in.
Exactly.
Financial, just lifestyle, everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a change when you go from what you were living to what you're used to for the last like 25 years
Yeah.
to now it's all of a sudden a different world.
I wish I was told that there was such thing as like marriage counseling. Like, you know, beforehand, like when you go and like talk to someone about like how your life is going to be like after marriage. I wish like I'd known that. Like I would have done it.
Yeah.
Really?
I
feel like if you're going to marriage counseling, that's like, okay,
no,
you guys shouldn't be together.
I've actually heard that like people become more successful in like with their trauma and stuff going to marriage counseling than over going to like singular
I think they
therapy
do
by
it in
themselves.
Christianity. Like Christians do that.
It's change at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Like it's change. You have to get used to it, and this is just one step in doing it, right?
Yeah.
With someone else's help.
Well, I guess starts with personal therapy first.
That itself is like a lifelong journey.
Couples therapy for you, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll talk that later, man. Let me get some personal therapy.
He's like, this isn't about me.
That's dope. What are we at, Dan?
About an hour 45.
Oh,
Wow. Holy shit.
That's dope.
Well,
Wow. Am I like the first one ever to do that? Or no?
No, we had Randy 2 parts, right?
yeah, but this is
This-
pretty
it
long.
didn't feel
for a
like an
straight,
hour,
Yeah.
We flew by.
Yeah. And
It's
it's fun talking than just being like
No, you're
interrogated by your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good.
Oh yeah, we appreciate you coming on. Do you have any words you want to plug?
Wait,
your
let's
stuff?
go with this first. What's some advice you'd give to any girl that wants to go into this world and start up one day?
So I would say that being a designer versus opening like a retail shop is 2 different things though. Okay. So if like you were to become a designer, I would say like learn a little bit of like how to create clothes, like so the design process, right? So that's why I went to school, because I wanted to learn that. I wanted to know like how to design, you know, and not just make it something just put together, you know, like I don't because I feel like almost anyone can do that. Like, you know, you can just go to a fabric store and put something together, but like when it comes to designing, that's completely different. So I would say like definitely like if you have like some kind of experience, like, you know, or like if you want to go to school, like definitely try that out, see how that is. There are like smaller courses for like design, like becoming like a fashion designer. And then after that, honestly, it's all about like experience. And I feel like I've had experience all my life when it comes to like clothing and like whatnot, like Indian clothes and like designing and like, you know, so I feel like I had so much experience and like it was just like in me like to do that. But I know a lot of people like would want to, like, I would say like work for someone, you know, because even if it's like not like Indian or like Western, but whatever, like whatever side you're trying to get into, right? So I would definitely suggest like working for someone and like hone your skills, like, you know, like try like getting as much out of like becoming a designer for a different brand, right? Because there's like even the bigger houses, like in Western clothing and Indian clothing, like there's just designers. There's a head designer, which is what they own the label, and then all the small designers that are with them, right? So it's if you want to go to India, like get a job there, like that's pretty cool. Like you can do that, or you can, start even with what here, with there's so many small brands here that always are hiring designers, right? But I think with experience, you can then think about see where your niche is when it comes to being a designer, because you can't just like start and like not know what your niche is. I think niche is like very important with any business, like if you're a restaurant owner or like, I don't know, like anything else, like a salon, like someone that owns a salon or whatever, right? I think it's very important to know your niche and like what your values are and what your core values are and like how you want to become, what you are or start a business. But it's a lot of work and it's going to be hard for for 2-3 years for sure. Right. But I think like as you, once you start, it just like starts like rolling, like slowly. Right. And that's how it did for me. And, like you learn new things, you learn about social media, you learn about marketing, you learn about accounting, and you learn about, escalations, and, you become your own HR team. And so it definitely is a lot. And once you get started, I feel like you just have to put yourself out there. I think you need even if like you don't have the confidence to do it, like definitely put yourself out there and start putting your designs out there for anyone. And it takes a while for people to catch on, right? And the other day, like I posted on my story that you be an artist, everyone else will catch on, right? They will catch on to your art, but you just be the artist, right? So yeah, being a creative takes a lot of like your mental, like it's a lot of mental load. You're always designing in your head, and then you're always putting on paper, but having an execution is like a huge part in that as well. So there's a lot of execution that needs to go into after designing all of those pieces. Yeah. I don't know. It's like, it's different when you're an artist trying to explain your art. Yeah. But I think in order to become a designer, like there has to be that obsession that you want to share your art with the world.
A bit of like a craziness.
Yeah. I don't think I would have learned what craziness is when, if I didn't have the drive to do it. I wanted to leave all that like 9 to 5 and all that. I wanted to have my own and create my own stuff for people. And then slowly people started catching on and seeing what my niche is and seeing what my designs are, and then when they come see me, they always come back. Like they're always coming back every year, and that's the fun part, is because you create a family within your clients.
Nice.
Which is fun.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it.
Your Instagram site, you want to plug it in?
Yeah, so you can follow me at on Instagram at Baban Gill Couture official, and I'm also on TikTok where I post a lot of behind the scenes normal stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I was looking at your TikTok too.
Yeah.
And
then so just like normal like stuff, like mom stuff and like things that I find cool and whatnot. I'm starting now. I've had it for a while, and I think like now I'm gonna start like my journey to like Dallas and stuff. That'd be pretty cool to share. So yeah, I've started that, and by the time you guys air this episode, I guess I will be in Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
How do you pronounce it? It's Baban?
Baban. Yeah.
Couture?
But at home it's Baban.
Baban, okay.
Yeah.
And is that like your nickname or?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Baban. It's Baban Gill.
Okay.
You know, gotta plug the
Yeah,
Jeet or
yeah,
Preet or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's Baban. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
any last words from the sister?
Yeah, appreciate the words.
Surprise guest.
She like asked me like 3 times. She's like, "Are you sure I will? Not, I don't have to talk, right? Like I just be on the side." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like a chair for you."
This
There's
is
a-
secret mic.
I think I'm just excited for her to see where the rest of her journey is going to take her, because I see big things coming for sure. Yeah, excited and extremely proud. I know she was so nervous coming into this. Like, she's not like a talker. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? She gets really nervous about little things. Like, her confidence could do some work, and she knows that. But no, but it's not.
good.
Yo, what?
I'm not throwing any shade.
She's like, "Here it
No,
is."
but she works on it. You know, regardless of whatever's holding her back, like, she's resilient to it.
I think she
I'm
killed
happy.
it from the minute she stepped in. I didn't feel nothing.
I felt really comfortable with you guys though.
Mohit's
like
been
you guys
like
are pretty
texting
good.
me. He's like,
You
"How's
think
she
so?
doing?"
Yeah, you guys made me feel really comfortable, which was really cool.
Appreciate it.
Yo, Dan, clip that part.
Yeah.
Send it to the guests that keep canceling on us.
No, I thought it was like pretty chill. Like you guys
Yeah.
came in, like you guys start, like we were just like talking,
Yeah.
and it just like kind of rolled. So it was just
Yeah.
really cool. Otherwise, like I thought I was gonna be like interrogator or something in here. Like
Oh, like,
Tell
just
us-
like, yeah.
yeah.
Just
No,
I
which
mean,
is
do you have any tea you want to say? Or?
oh.
Yeah? Anything you want to get off your chest?
somebody.
No, but
I feel like you do, but she's like, sister, pump her up.
I honestly like no, not really. No.
You shouldn't.
I'm like, should I?
Just say it. Just say it. Just get it off your chest.
About what?
Anything you have.
Like tea?
Is there something you want to say? Like something on your mind? Something you want to put out there?
I would say like I know like a lot of people like come into this industry or like they want to come into this industry. Like I've had multiple girls say this to me that they want to do like what I'm kind of doing or something else. It could be like it was like I think it was like a makeup artist or she wanted to be into makeup or whatever. And she was like, "But I'm so intimidated." She's like, "There's like all these like cliques. And I don't know, like, if I start, like, do I have to be a part of that clique to be successful?
You don't.
Right?" And I'm like,
there is.
There is. They're all
that
clear.
mentality.
Yeah.
There is that click up
There are
mentality.
a lot of clicks out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And that's just. I feel like that's just out here.
yeah, no.
But
And,
no.
like, in the States, there isn't.
Yeah.
Like, I've talked to so many people that are in the States and they do what I do or they're doing something else. And they're just like, we just all do our own thing. And, like, sometimes we're, like, calling each other up, like, well, can you take on this client or do this or do that? And, like, here, it's, like, the complete opposite. Like, you can't be friends with anyone, really. Because... I was just silently sitting back, like...
I agree though.
Yeah.
Right, you're 100%
And
right.
I've always really just kept to myself. Like
Stayed in your own lane.
I just stayed in my own lane, and a lot of clients see that.
Mm-hmm.
They see that. I get messages all the time. They'll be like I'm not like boasting about myself, but this is what they say to me. They'll be like, "You're so down to earth,
Yeah.
and you're so chill. Like, you know, like when we come see you, or like even online, or some people have not even met me, and they'll like come out and they'll message me, like take time out of their day and be like, "You're so down to earth. Like we thought you'd be like, you know, like an influencer, or like whatever." Or, like
I honestly had that vibe too when I walked in.
Yeah?
But like you're actually like I think it's just like that look you give off. It's kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like people would be
I got kind of nervous when I walked in. I was like, oh shit. But
people would tell me like all the time that, you know, they'll see me here and there and they like want to say hi, and I'm like, oh my god, you should have said hi.
Yeah.
Like
but that completely
say
changed.
hi.
Yeah.
I love meeting people. Like even though like I'm not like I said, I'm like very quiet and like timid and whatnot, like I love meeting people. And especially now that I'm growing up, I want to know about people. Like I want to know like what walk of life you come from, you know, and I want to share that with like people, like, you know, and be like, I know someone, and I don't want to feel alone in like my struggles, and nor do I want them to feel alone in their struggles. And so when they like share, like clients that have been like my clients for a while, like I know things about them that they wouldn't share with anybody, you know, and that's pretty chill. Like I make it like that. Like I'll be like, you know, like we'll like have a heart to heart kind of thing, you know, and I come from so much. I've grown up with so much, so it feels nice to talk to people that have some similar stories, or or they just want to feel heard. And I even like when like my sisters and people like my cousins come up to me and they talk to me, like I just listen. I'm a listener. So like I'll just like listen, and like and then they feel so much better, and I've always been that person, and I guess in my family that someone they could come to like vent to. But yeah, like, and like when my clients say like, oh, like I saw you here, I saw you there, but like you were like busy or whatever, and I'm like, no, like come say hi to me next time. So like, yeah, so I'm kind of like, yeah, I guess like you, like what you were saying, like you felt kind of like oh my god, like intimidated or whatever. I don't know what you said, but yeah. Yeah. Like, oh, like, yeah, so like I'm not approachable.
But like that look completely kind of changed. I think it's just like the way you kind of come off, like that energy is completely different though. Like I feel like you're so down to earth, you're real, raw, and like one of those OGs that's seen it all, has been through it, that's hustled and grinded and been through the struggle, right? Where I think a lot of people will relate to. And that thing you say where people don't approach you, I feel like, I don't know if it's just out here, bro, or like what it is. I feel like when people see you in today's time, it's like, instead of being like, oh, look, it's so-and-so, or like, they'll be like, oh, that person.
They'll whisper to their buddy.
They'll whisper to their buddy, or they'll pull their phone out, and they'll start like, you know what I mean, making it so uncomfortable. But it's like, if you recognize someone, just go say what up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like I do probably come across because I'm quiet. Like, I'm not loud, and like, I don't go up to people and stuff, right? But like with my siblings, like I'm like a total goof. Like they'll be like, "You're so embarrassing."
but I feel that you don't put out that fake energy either. There's a lot of like social media makeup. I slipped out. But there's a lot of people out there, I feel like, that put out too much fake energy. Yeah. Whereas I feel like I think you're really raw and like kind of keep it really real. So you don't have that like fake energy to you, which kind of intimidates people.
I don't like small talk. I hate networking. Like when people tell me like, oh, like we'll go to this event and we'll like talk to people, and you can like get your word out and stuff, and I'll be like, I hate that. What do you want to talk about? Like I went once and I was like talking to some photographer. I'm like, what did I talk to you about? You know? Yeah. And then like they're like handing me their business card, and I'm like, oh. Like I just don't like that. I like meeting people. I don't want to meet businesses. You know, like I don't want to meet what you are, but like I like talking about like everyday stuff and whatnot. And even my sisters, like they probably get so annoyed at me. I'm like FaceTiming them all the time about like, look what my kid did, or like, like, and like, or like I'm going through this or whatnot. But I guess like. This would be like a perfect way to say like I'm like very chill, and I love just being like with people and like talking to people and whatnot. So yeah.
So next time you see her, say what up.
Yeah, say what up. Like come say hi, and like we'll talk and like whatnot. And I've had people come up to me and be like, oh, like I love your stuff and this and that, and I'm like, that just like make me so happy. Like like my husband would be like you were like smiling like ear to ear, and like you're so happy, like seeing people like that come up to you because like you like have made some like difference in their life, like even if like they follow you and they're like whatever, like like it makes me so happy, like I get to share my art. So yeah, and this is how I am most of the time. Like this, like I'm like my husband, like he thinks like we both work from home, and he gets so annoyed at me. He'd be like, I'm literally right here. Like like I'm not going anywhere, like and then if I'm not like annoying like my husband, like I'm annoying my sister and brother, and like so I'm like a big goof when it comes to like being like this. But yeah.
Dope.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Oh, thank you for coming on. You're awesome.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Enjoyed your story.
Everyone go give her a follow, and
go get your suits.
Go get your suits
Baban
made.
Couture.
Thank you.
Shout out.
Wear the beans and beers, and we're out.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.